Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Enjoy this beautiful outfit. Look at this outfit. Like you're a star. I love it.
Casa de Naz.
Casa de Naz.
Casa de Naz.
Ready on 8.
Ready on 8.
Let's just get into it. We know what it is. We know the vibes because this is round 2 for you, right? We did more in the last episode, which featured Carmyne Fynn and Amaka Ume, yourself and myself in the film. And now it is just you, myself, and of course, Carmyne was in the film as well. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good.
You're alive?
Yeah. I'm good. A little sore. I had rehearsal yesterday, so.
You're rehearsing? That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss rehearsing. I miss all that stuff. So that's awesome that you're getting back into it out there. Yay, Ontario.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. I love it. Well, you know, the audience is kind of familiar as to who you are, but if we have a few brand new people tuning in for the first time, can you give them just a snapshot of who you are?
My name is Diane Jean-Louis, and I am in Toronto, Ontario, and I am a dancer, actor, entertainer. I moved here about almost 6 years ago for acting school, and then I transitioned my way into the dance community, so now I'm trying to just balance both acting and dancing at the same time.
That is amazing. And I have to mention that I spoke a lot about this in the last episode, but Diane, you know, I have seen Diane grow and evolve and blossom into this fierce, fire, gal, dancer, artist. It's really such an amazing evolution to witness. So big up. I'm so proud of you. This is really exciting to see how far you've come and how you've evolved since the days that we were in DPAC together. DPAC being the performing arts group that my mother created 17 years ago. Yeah, are you giving me this because we're kind of frozen?
Yeah.
What I was going on and on. I had a whole monologue about how wonderful you are and how fierce you are. So I'll find an amazing way to wrap that up. She's dope. That's how I'll wrap it up. Okay, so just like we have been doing, we are diving into the films that we have created in Casa de Naz. And so this episode is all about everything nice, and everything nice is really special to me because it was the last film that I did with you just before you took off to Toronto. And it was also the last film that I did with Carmyne and the last film that I participated in as a dancer. So, you know, it kind of marks, it really checks off a few check boxes. What do you remember? Do you remember anything from that film day? Together.
From the rehearsals, I remember.
Oh, sure, yeah. Look at me. I'm like, forget the process. What do you remember about the process?
It was late nights. I remember us making our costumes.
Classic. It's a theme.
I also remember we performed at Jimmy nightclub before we did the actual video shoot.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy's.
Shout out Jimmy. Yes, so we're rehearsing for the Jimmy nightclub performance, And then because it was so late, my mom just randomly showed up to the rehearsal after we were getting ready. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're coming with us to the performance. This is so embarrassing. And it's funny because good thing she did come, because I also happened to forget my ID, and I just turned 18. And
Yes.
we're all just rolling up, and we're just like, yeah, here's your ID. I'm like, oh, I don't have mine.
Oh my God.
Mom has it.
Yeah. Crazy
And, like,
times.
Yeah.
Maybe
My
that's
mom
why
was-
she showed up. Maybe she just knew. You know how moms just know.
Yeah, I think that was one. I think that was maybe one of the reasons. And another one was just like a nightclub. My daughter.
I get it. She just wanted the best. She wanted the best for you. And you know, Jimmy's nightclub, it had a lot of character. It had a lot of character. And I'll just leave that open to interpretation for our viewers. It had a lot of character there. But you know, also such a dope place to gather, because not only are you getting, okay, yeah, your club experience, but at that time in the city, there weren't a lot of places where you could go for dance hall, soca, Afrobeat, hip hop. That was kind of the spot to go, right? And DJ New Boy, who was heading that night, he did an awesome job at curating memorable parties, really, right? He, like, which club could you go to where you would have your nightclub experience, but also a theatrical experience? So shout out to DJ New Boy for often inviting Casa de Naz to grace the stage at the club. Okay, so then we filmed it, and even filming it felt a bit rushed because you were on your way out, like time ticking. Amaka was, I wanted her to be, Amaka Ume from the previous episode more, I wanted her to be in the piece as well, but she had just taken off. You were about to go to Toronto, and Carmyne and I were like, well, it's not a duet, so let's rush so we can get Diane in here. What do you remember from film day?
I remember when we were going to the building, and I was just like, wow, where are we going, Sabrina? Because I was like, this looks kind of suspect. And then we went in, but then I got inside, and I was just like, so, like, is it like, where are we filming? Because this looks like a construction site right now. But yeah, it was a really fun shoot. I had a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was very free. I feel like I hadn't gotten into storyboarding at that point at all for any films. So really conceptually, I was kind of making things up and structuring things on spot. And you guys were awesome because you were like, sure, yep, cool, we'll do this, we'll do that, which is like a dream for a choreographer, a dream for a director, to be able to have someone that's just willing and able.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think we should just watch the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, let's
watch it.
Let's watch everything nice. Yes, I love this shot. I absolutely love this shot of you. Shout out Carmyne Fynn.
Yeah.
This is kind of when
accessories.
Right. Well, you know, all of my, that was my mom's cowrie necklace, by the way. No, this is when I was like, ooh, I think I discovered fashion films, and I was like, oh, fashion films are a thing? How do we mix it with dance? Ew. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, choreo. Let's go first weave. That was my first weave I ever had. Hey-o. I shouldn't give away all the secrets. I should have just been like, that's my hair. I remember that space being so tiny.
Yeah. And it was like very compact.
So compact. Like, it's almost perfect that it was just the three of us. Hey, let's go solos. Let's go.
Let's go, Carmyne.
She's great. She's amazing. Shout out Carmyne.
Hey.
All right. Okay.
I remember being so nervous for this part because I did not freestyle back then, and that was, oh my god.
But it's great. You still, like, when I look at your freestyle, I still see, like, the essence is there, right? The attitude is there. The vibe was there. I love it. I love it. Thanks so much for watching everything nice. Wow. What a time. You looked great in that, and you look great now. It's awesome to be able to look back at stuff like that, because then you go, you witness your evolution almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been asking all the dancers, as you know, right? Like, oh, what's a piece of advice what do you give your past self and your future self? And you had awesome advice that you gave in the last episode. My mom was listening to it, and when you spoke up, she was like, I was like, right. It was really fantastic. You said something along the lines of run towards the things that scare you. That's preach, like really, truly. I'd love to kind of go into that a little deeper. How do you do that?
Well, for one, like back then, like freestyling was very scary and very foreign to me. So when I first came here and I was working at Underground at the time, a few of my friends and colleagues there would like have like dance session, freestyle sessions. And I came in and wasn't really like looking to participate because I'm like, I don't freestyle. And I'm like, being vulnerable is like so foreign, and like these are people I don't really know very well. So they're just like, okay, well, everyone has to participate. And I was like, oh, okay.
Pressure!
I guess. So like I put on a song it was like a random song that they put on, and I was just like, ooh, sick. I was like, I can't do this. And then I just like closed my eyes and just let the music take me. And ever since then, like I've started to get more and more comfortable with freestyling and freestyling in different genres of like hip hop, ballet, contemporary, and then started to realize that when I do freestyle, I like to fuse a lot of the styles that I know.
Beautiful.
A lot. So like even that like comes into like when I start choreographing as well, like it's never like one particular style. It's usually like a fusion of various different styles, which I think is really cool. And ever since then, I was just like, oh, it's not really that bad. You're really just let the music take you and see what happens. And it's usually something beautiful at the end, because then I'll watch it back and I'm like, why was I so scared of freestyling before?
The question.
And then that portrayed into like other like styles of dance. So going into contemporary and learning like my technique and strengthening my technique as well. And yeah, and like going into like dance hall and soca and more advanced hip hop, and taking classes from choreographers that I would usually just watch from afar, and just like, oh my God, I really wish I was like that good. And then I just like, why don't I just, even if I'm not at that level, I should train to be at that level in their classes. So that way I know my strengths and my weaknesses and what I need to improve on when I go home, and what I need to like do my research on. So I just started doing that. And yes, I went down in flames for multiple classes.
Relatable. It happens.
But then I saw a lot of growth, and then I started getting more and more comfortable in their styles, and then realizing that it wasn't as hard as I thought it would have been in the beginning. And then, like, now I actually get to work with those choreographers that I thought that I'd never work with.
Brilliant.
like a really long time. So
Brilliant. You know, one thing that I'm as I'm listening to you that keeps coming to my mind because of how you're relaying your story is like it kind of all starts with surrender and trust. Like that's kind of the seed of I want to say greatness, but really if you can learn to trust yourself and surrender the ego and surrender the fear of the unknown and just submit to the moment, show up in the moment, really remarkable things can come from that. So how you're explaining your story, that's I see that completely. And running towards the things that scare you, I think that's that. I think that's really beautiful. And I feel like you've done it beautifully because the work that you're putting out now and how you show up in class now from what I see on the gram or YouTube or anything, I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Only up, only up. We can go from here. Mm-hmm. So I applaud you, man. That is incredible. And I hope you continue to go. So now, how do you see yourself running towards the things that scare you or applying that energy in a post-pandemic, post-COVID world?
I think the first thing that comes to mind, and I've been thinking about this a lot, is choreographing and putting on my first piece, taking the time to listen to the music and find out what concept I want for it and what message I want to portray, and the dancers that I feel would execute my vision very well and put it out there for others to see, because that's like one thing that's like scary for me is like putting like my own piece
your own voice out there.
Like, yeah, exactly. I think that's one thing I'm working on right now.
So much time and space to develop an idea and dig deeper into ideas. But in the spirit of running towards things that scare you, what a great time to do it. Mm-hmm. I wish you all the best. And I'm sending you all the light and the love. And I can't wait to see what you produce and what you come up with out of this time. I think I'm really interested to see what artists, specifically performing artists, come up with during this time, because this is a time that's really affecting us. Mm-hmm. Like everybody is affected by this time. Don't get me wrong. However, performing artists, our craft is rooted in gathering. Yeah. Is it really a performance if you don't bring eyes to the work? Right? So I'm just interested in what are we cooking up? What are we manifesting? And it sounds like you've got some really cool projects brewing there. And I'm sending you all the vibes. Yeah, man. Blessings, Diane. Peace and blessings. I'm so grateful.